If you're an entrepreneur and you do one of these 3 things we're about to talk about on this episode, it will completely cripple and destroy your business. So we're going to teach you the 3 things that you must avoid if you want to be a successful business owner. And then we're going to teach you the 3 things that you must do if you actually want your business to grow and scale. So don't miss any of these lessons on today's episode of the Melanin Money Show.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. And if y'all haven't figured it out yet, like this show, we like to talk business. It's like our business owner therapy
session. Yeah.
It's like our business owner therapy, right? Like we have our other 2 shows where we get specific about tax strategy and investing in the tactics of what we're world class at. But in doing those things, we built an amazing business and we're learning a lot of things in real time. And we want you guys to get the lessons without the scar. Right. So if you watched the last episode, this first point actually could technically be a derivative of that episode. In the last episode, we talked about networking mastery and how to navigate in a room full of vultures.
Yeah, how to navigate in a room full of vultures.
Yes, and so one tip, oh my gosh, because right, we talked about taking the picture and forcing the picture, and the forced picture for the funnel is crazy. Right.
But that's why they don't want to take the picture, because they've been here before. So on this episode, we're going to teach them what the 3 things not to do.
The 3 things not to do in business, unless you hate money and you want to fail. Yeah. Right. If those are your goals, then absolutely do these 3 things. Okay. Yeah. All right. But so to roll off that last episode, we'll make this first point. So using someone else's likeness, right, and using it to sell something that they did not co-sign on. Right. So imagine you're at one of those networking events. You force the picture. Right. Mm-hmm. And then now the next thing you know, they're scrolling on their feed or somewhere. Someone might know even worse. Someone tags them. Yo, bro, dope. I see you linked up with the credit dude, right? The funding dude. Yeah. And they're like, wait, what? I barely didn't want to take the picture. And now I'm inside your funnel. Being inside someone's funnel. Yes. Right. Is nasty work.
It is maniacal.
Right. So
it's absolutely maniacal.
So please do not use someone else's likeness. Because one, if they're a real business owner, like we actually have counsel now. So like if I see someone I like, I'm sending them your way. The cease and desist is coming, right?
You'll get a letter from a lawyer.
Exactly, right? So now you got to take your funnel down. If you make some money, if they really want to get sleazy, like, how much scratch you made? Pull the Stripe account, pull the ClickFunnels. You know what I'm saying? So like, do not use someone else's likeness.
What about me one more time, D?
Yo, that was so insane, bro. Yeah. Oh my God, that's an inside joke we can't let y'all in on. Sorry. Oh man, maybe if y'all get in the community or something. But,
yeah.
But yeah,
so that's still not there. Nah, that joke is never coming out to the public.
I know it's the worst. Like we laughing extra hard. We not telling y'all I'm sorry, but like, yo, that's just one of those ones you got to keep close to the chest. But so like, at the end of the day, take your picture, network, build with people. But you cannot use someone else's likeness to sell something they didn't co-sign. I don't care how great you think your product is, because at the end of the day, we spend a lot of money in building our brand, right? And so if you're going to leverage somebody's brand off the strength without permission to sell something, that's not only is it wrong, right? You're literally potentially taking money out of somebody else's pocket. Like people have to pay, right, to build up their brand, right? So you need to make sure that 1, you're asking for consent at the very least, or 2, just don't do it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will cause people to look at you as a business owner without integrity, and business integrity is one of the most important things you need to have.
Facts.
So, and then like word spreads fast, man.
Very fast.
Word spreads fast, especially if you're in this digital entrepreneur, online coaching, service-based world. Yep. Word spreads fast. So if you're taking unsolicited pictures in the first place, and then using that photo to sell your product or service, which the person you took the photo with didn't even co-sign your product or service, is just a bad look, and that word is going to spread really fast.
Yeah, don't mess with that dude. And you could be a good person, right? You just reached, right? That's the reach of the week, right? Yeah. Taking a picture with somebody and using it to sell your products.
Yeah, that's like taking a picture with a celebrity and then saying that, like, they use your whatever. They use your service. They use
come to my events or join my program, and this is the type of people you're gonna be getting in the room with.
Yeah, like no, you met him at somebody else's conference,
right?
Like they don't even
they don't even know who you are, bro.
Yeah.
So do not, I repeat, do not use someone else's likeness to amplify your business or sell a product without their consent.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next point. The hidden fees, right? No, excuse me. No, the hidden pre-orders. Let's start there.
Yeah.
The hidden pre-order. What do we mean by hidden pre-order, right? Because like in business, there is such a thing as pre-order, right? The Ferrari truck was been on pre-order for like 2 years, right? And they let you know up front, this ain't gonna be ready for 2 years. And people still swipe the car for the 485 or whatever it was, right? 485,000, by the way, right? Nothing wrong with pre-orders if you're being upfront, but selling something to someone who they expect to get it in 3 to 5 business days, and then a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month goes by or longer, and they didn't know upfront that you didn't have the ability to fulfill or wasn't ready, not okay. Not okay, especially if it's close, right? Because like somebody buying something for an event and they think it's gonna be there for the event, and the drip ain't there, the drip ain't on the way.
Yeah.
Talk about somebody that's gonna be sick, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's cool to do pre-orders. It's just making sure that you know upfront, that people know upfront. I'm gonna tell you a story about this. So, pandemic, everybody, it was the strangest thing ever, but everybody was buying clothes apparently. I don't know why like niggas was buying clothes to be on Zoom, but whatever, I digress. Right? So Mail and Money Store, and it's before iOS 14, like it was crazy. Like I was almost considered not being an advisor, like off of this. I was sending him screenshots, like, yo, bro, this is crazy. What's going on right now? Right? So I got the great idea. I was like, you know what? Running low on inventory. I was like, fuck it. I was like, let's just sell through. Like we'll have enough time. Like we'll be able to get it. We got a good process dialed in. Terrible idea. The manufacturer started slowing down, couldn't get the stuff on time. Customer service was a nightmare. I don't even know if I told you this. Customer service for a little period of time was a nightmare, all because I thought that I was going to be able to get the inventory in time and people weren't going to notice.
And you ain't tell them on the front end.
And I ain't tell them on the front end.
Yeah.
Right. So the pre-order, so now I will never do a pre-order. But like the hidden pre-order, nasty work. Yeah. Don't do it. Be upfront. Let people know.
Yeah, and this goes for like coaching entrepreneurs as well. Like if you're selling somebody, your coaching program, or you're selling somebody think they can hire you, right? But their engagement can't start for 3 to 4 months. That's a problem as well. Yep. Right? Because when they paid you, they assume they're gonna be able to hire you soon. But if your availability for your calendar, meaning their first one-on-one meeting with you, doesn't start for 2 months, it's a problem. That's a problem, right? And people are okay if you tell them on the front end, because all about expectation. This is one of my favorite scenarios. I heard recently say if you purchase a ticket for a bus ride and it said you're gonna get there in 3 hours and you get there in 2, you're happy, right? If you purchase the bus ticket for 1 hour and you got there in 2, you're upset.
Same time.
You got there at the same time.
That's a great analogy.
But the perspective and the expectation of what time you were going to arrive was different. So you might lose credibility in your business. You might have provided the service at the same time, but because their expectation was different than what was actually happening, you provide the service at the same amount of time, and now you got a bad review. Right. Versus if you told them, hey, I probably won't be able to get to you for 2 months, but you get to them in 6 weeks. Now you have a positive review. It happened in the same time. So we just want to make sure we manage the expectations of our clients and our customers on the front end, because that's all it is, right? It's just an expectation.
That's it. Same amount of time, just expectation. And I think that's huge, because like that's business, that's relationships, that's everything. It's like just appropriately managing expectations, and more importantly than that, giving the person the opportunity to decide if they want to participate. It's just like a relationship, right? It's like, again, I'm already married. I'm out the game, but like people, want to have a polygamous marriage, and like let them know up front. Like same thing. You still got 2 girlfriends, right? But the difference is she knew up front she was cool with it versus you got one and then one on the side. Yeah, same thing.
You got 2 people. It's just like it's the expectation, and as entrepreneurs, I think that's something we all can learn from. Managing the expectations for our clients, our customers will have a dramatic effect on your brand and the way your brand is viewed, right? Because man, Fandango got me with the other day. I'm got my toes in the covers on my laptop. I say Bad Boys 4. I said, let me snag this joint. I purchased it. I'm like, hit the watch it now. I said pre-order, and I'm like, bro, that was 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Still ain't got the movie yet.
Speaking of which, you said something interesting. I'm curious what y'all think. Do people still go to the movies? Because he seems to think that nobody goes to the movies anymore. I think people go to the movies. Let me know in the comments, or like, let's clip this up for social. Do y'all still go
to leaves the comfort of their own home? Like
it's an experience.
It made sense like pre-pandemic, but I feel like post-pandemic, like people like it's like how can I explain it? It's like you used to like deal with only having a house phone till cell phones came out. Like, and then like I'm not using the house phone no more. It's like, yo, I was cool with going to the movies, and then like it get released a week later at the crib.
Well, apparently not. 3 weeks.
Yeah,
4 weeks. You're on 4 weeks.
Yeah. Apparently not.
So I guess it's more about instant gratification, right? But I'm curious. Do y'all still go to the movies, or are y'all strictly I'm gonna order it online?
If a girl said, "Let's go to the movies," I'm not going on that date. Period.
All right, there you had it, folks. So don't invite Carter to a movie date.
It's a terrible first date anyway, because you don't get to know the person.
Yeah, okay,
it's a terrible first date. Rookie mistake.
Fair. He's trying to clean it up.
Yeah. What was point number 2? That was
point number 2.
Okay.
Point number 3 is the sleazy upsell. The sleazy upsell.
Let's be very clear, because there's a good way to upsell.
There's a good way to upsell.
And there's a bad way to upsell. So I'll let you explain.
Yeah. So the good way to upsell is providing complementary service, and we'll expound upon that a little bit, what that could look like in the 3 things you should do. Right. Yeah. So adding complementary things to what someone buys. That's a good way to do it. Right. Yeah. They can say no, they can say yes, but ultimately whatever they buy is still going to work and be perfectly fine on its own. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to upsell. A bad way to upsell is like simple analogy of batteries sold separately, right? If I'm a kid on Christmas Day with my remote control car, right? Everything else is closed. I'm excited. I've been asking my mom about it. I see it. I get that remote control car out, and it can't go nowhere because there ain't no batteries in it because the batteries are sold separately.
Did you open your Christmas presents at midnight or the day
She let me open like 1 or 2.
Yeah, so it was 1 or 2 in the morning, and then the battery's not there. So now the store's closed.
And the store's closed. It's an L. Right? Like, if I can't get the core value out of the item that I buy, again, service or product, right? That is a bad upsell, right? It needs to just charge me more. I will happily pay more because guess what? I can't use the thing without it. And number 2, I'm gonna have to spend the money anyway because it's not included, right? That's a terrible upsell. Selling somebody something, leading them to that path, thinking they got what they needed, only to incrementally. It's like flights do this too, right? Like the cheaper airlines.
Yeah, I'll talk about Frontier, Spirit, all them. I think like I forgot how I found out. I think my cousin was buying a flight, or maybe my niece or whatever, and they charged her
for the carry-on.
Extra money. No, not for the carry-on. They charged her extra fee to be able to talk to an attendant when she got to the airport.
What?
That's a thing.
That's crazy.
You buy your ticket, but if you want to talk to a person when you get there, it is an upsell on Frontier to talk to a specialist when you get to. So if you don't pay for that, you can't talk to somebody who gets to the airport. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they have like a few other like weird ones too. Probably like, but yeah, like if I can't get the core value out of the item, that's just a sleazy upsell.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think like an example in like
a service-based
business, like.
I think maybe here's one. Maybe like if you're a bookkeeper, right? And then because you still got to pay for your own QuickBooks.
Yeah,
I was thinking like
but like you know, guys, you know, if you are selling something and your product does not function with this, just add it into the original price and increase the price a little bit.
Right.
But that ain't nothing worse than paying for something and like, oh, I can't use
Here's a good one. So our clients get access to this community portal, right? So imagine they pay for the program, right? Because technically it is a software, and say, oh, but yeah, in order to like actually see the stuff, like you're in the program for sure.
Yeah.
But to see the stuff, there's another little subscription for like, bro, if you don't just include that little, it's almost annoying at that point, right? It ain't even about the money. It's like, if you know I can't get access to the thing without it, why would you not include it in the price?
Yeah, and just up the price.
I'm still willing to pay for it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing about expectation, right? Like, if I'm not mad about I'm mad because I didn't expect to pay anything else. Right. You could have just took that $99 a month and added to the price, and I would have been fine because my expectation was I'm getting access once I pay for it.
Yep.
So one of the easiest ways to cripple your business is to sell your clients something and leave out something that they need to be successful just to charge them more for it later. Charge them it all at one time for the thing, and I promise you they'll be a happier customer.
Right. As long as like whatever it is that they need for the core product or service, they can still get that out of it, and these are complementary, cool. But if not, you just add it in, call it a day.
What's up, family? Are you ready to make more in 2024? I'm talking make more money, pay less taxes, and get access to more capital? If so, I want you to join our 100% free masterclass where we're going to be teaching you all of these strategies so you can keep more money in your pocket and you can make your money make money for you. So if you want to be a part of this amazing free class, all you have to do is click the link below and save your spot. The problem is we only have 50 seats. So I will pause this episode, go register, and come back to it after so that you can save your seat for this masterclass. Other than that, I'll see you inside the class. Let's get back to the episode.
Okay, so those are 3 things you never want to do in business if you want your business to grow at any state or point in time. So now that we know what not to do, let's change the energy and talk about what we should do, right?
100%.
So that we can actually grow and scale our businesses. And I think that yeah, this is a great point. So we talked about the sleazy upsell, right? There are ways to gracefully upsell somebody, right? In a way that makes them happy, because if you all have listened to this podcast for any amount of time, you know something we preach is that the best time to sell a customer something is right after they already bought.
Big facts.
So one of the ways you can dramatically increase the revenue in your business over time is that when somebody purchases a service from you, asking them, do they want to auto renew for the next year of service when they buy, right? So if let's say you're a service provider and your fee is like $10,000 a year. Say you're a lawyer, your fee is $10,000 a year to work with you. And then once a client says yes and they purchase, you would say, hey, I can't wait to work with you. We want you to be a client for life. Would you like us to just auto renew your yearly subscription? Because we want to keep you as a client. What we'll do is we'll give you 25% off if you opt in to this auto renewal, because odds are we're going to need to work with you for a long time. We'll just be a long relationship.
Right.
Cool. They just paid you $10,000 for something, and then you set up on a $900 a month auto renewal subscription. So after that 12 months, they auto renew for $900 a month, because people are like, that's so far away. I'm not even thinking about that, right? And it shows that you want them to be a customer for a lifetime and not just a short time. Right. So that is a way for you to gracefully upsell somebody after they just purchased something. And I think personally, it is childish not to sell somebody something after they just bought from you.
Big fact. As a matter of fact, it's funny you say that. It just happened to me when I joined the mastermind I was just telling you about. Yeah. Like, hey, so typically most people, after they do this part of the program, they kind of want to stick around. And if you bundle it and buy it, like commit now, you won't be charged for those 6 months. But like, it just happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes sense, because if I made that decision, I obviously at that moment, that's my highest level of belief.
Yeah.
Right. So I want
to your first win.
Exactly. So I want to compound, which goes me to the next point. I want to compound on that belief by saying, of course I do, because that reaffirms the big decision that I just made. And that's sales psychology, right? And here's the thing. All sales is just rooted in integrity. If you believe you're selling the next best thing since sliced bread, you really believe that you've gotten client results, you know that it's a good product, it's all rooted in integrity. So this whole idea about being afraid of sales is silly, because you're actually not helping as many people as you say you want to help. So why wouldn't you be able to help them for longer by offering them an opportunity to stay engaged with you? Because here's the other thing about sales too. At the end of the day is you want to decrease the friction, right, of the product. It doesn't matter how good your product or service is. If there is friction in the process, it's going to decrease the likelihood of conversion, right? It's the reason why Amazon is so successful, right? It is so easy to buy things on Amazon. I can log on Amazon right now. Within 7 seconds, something could be purchased. It's no friction. The card's already there, right? The searchability, right? So ask yourself, how can I decrease the friction of maintaining this client? And 9 times out of 10, that recipe is going to include asking for the future sale up front.
1,000%.
You already got the card information.
You already got the card information. They're already excited for the purchase they just made. So I think an auto renewal strategy in some way in your business is going to be monumental for your success. Because think about this. If you get 100 clients in your business the first year, they pay you $10,000. You have $1 million business.
Right.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's easy.
Yeah, that was easy.
Like, go make $1 million. Like, if you just heard that, go make $1 million.
Go make $1 million.
That's easy.
100 people paying you $1,000. Not that hard. 2 clients a month. I'm sorry. That's 2 clients a week. Yeah, it's 2 clients a week. And
you can take 2 weeks off.
Yeah, exactly. And after you do that, if you do nothing else in year 2, that's still $1 million business.
Still $1 million business.
You know what I'm saying? So like now you're walking into $1 million your next year, because you have all these clients on auto renewal. Half of them drop out. You still walking into a $500,000 business off last year's work.
Big facts. And let me tell you something about how business works. If you ever want to have the desire to sell your business, the reason why your valuation goes up substantially when you have recurring revenue on the books and or technology is because that business knows, hey, if I just buy what as is, right? This is what I'm expecting. So they're willing to pay a premium for future revenue because it's already predictable. They're not coming into a business like, oh, like you sold this much in the past, and if all things remain constant, right, you should be able to find 100 new customers in the future. I already got those 100 customers. And as long as you keep doing what I'm already doing, you're good. You can just compound on that growth. Like I've seen valuations go from 3 times EBITDA to 13x, all because of recurring revenue, right? So if you ever want to sell your business, increase the valuation of it or take some chips off the table, which we'll do a podcast episode on that because we're in the middle of that right now in terms of like what it means to structure your business that way, but definitely include MRR, monthly recurring or annual recurring revenue, however you want to slice.
Yeah, 1000%. So next thing is asking, this is a great thing to increase your sales. Asking for a referral from somebody who just purchased from you, right? And I think there's a sleazy way to do it, and I think there is a more intentional way of doing it, right? So after somebody just purchases and you're about to solve their problem, you just gently ask them, hey, is there anybody else that you know that has a problem that you have and they want it solved? That's the best way I've heard it framed, right? Because like they came to you because they have a problem. Hey, do you know anybody else that suffers from the same problem that you want to help them solve it? Yes or no, maybe so, right? We just sold them. We put them on auto renew, and right before the phone call ends, hey, just curious, James, is there anybody else that's suffering from the same problem that you would like us to help as well? Yeah, bro, I got my friend over here, and I can't tell you how many times me and George have been referred to somebody's business and bought before we even talked on the phone with the person on the sales team.
Big fact.
Because we borrowed the trust of the person that gave us the referral, right? You just joined another program, and part of the reason you joined that program, we just had a mastermind, and the guy spoke, and he borrowed the credibility of the person whose mastermind it was.
Right.
So therefore, you was ready to buy. We wouldn't have been in that mastermind if when our homies didn't call us up and say, hey, bro, you need to be in this program. So like asking for the referral after somebody buys and framing it in a way that makes them feel like they're solving their friends. Who don't want to help their friend out?
Who don't want to help their friend out? Everybody wants to be the plug.
Everybody, there you go.
Everybody wants to be the plug. Not to mention, bonus, incentivize them for doing so.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, and just so you know, like we actually, if the person decides to join, right, we have a pretty hefty referral commission that we pay out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right?
Yeah.
So big bonus. All right. Third point. Building really solid core strategic partnerships to add complementary value to your product or service, right? So for example, if you're a really good business owner and you have a service-based business, one of the best things you can do is when you solve a problem, you're going to create a new problem, right? And so in doing so, right, there needs to be a new solution. Now, hopefully you already have a lot of that mapped out in your customer value journey or your customer ascension roadmap, which just means like as your customer grows with you, you have a new solution to serve them. However, you don't necessarily want to start 20 different businesses, right? But there might be things that are complementary to your client's success. And so one of the ways that you can grow your business is by saying, hey, look, I don't want to go as it stands today, start a new accounting firm, right? But I do want to have a strategic partnership with one that can handle the volume of our clients. As a result of that, because I could send these clients to anybody, or I could start my own accounting firm. What would it look like for me to send that business your way? They need this service anyway. Then we help them save a lot of money on taxes, right? And now they need to invest this money, whatever. Like, so who can we send them to? Okay, great. Now I'm leaving with something, right? So are you willing to give me some type of referral commission or kickback for me sending them your way? Now, again, it's all rooted in integrity. Like you have to go to somebody anyway. People would actually prefer or wish that you could do it. So what's the next best thing? Who would you co-sign? Who is the person that would do your taxes? Or who's the person that would do this complimentary thing for you? Here's my guy, right? Goes back to being the plug. Here's my guy. You could use them. And as a result, now you have another business giving you a kickback for every client that you're serving. And now what's dope about that is you still look like the hero because you get to be the librarian and not the library, right? Your client doesn't care and or expect you to be all knowing and do all things, but they love it when you can connect the dots for them, right? You could, as a matter of fact, I'm not sure why we haven't done this yet. We'll probably pull the trigger on this in a couple months, but like, just giving a black book of our top recommendation. Like, here's the people we use for our funnels. Here's the people we use for this. Here's the people we use for that. Like that in of itself, not having to go through the growing pains of using somebody who doesn't work, right? Knowing that they're great, even if you didn't get a kickback, like that in and of itself your client's gonna look at you as the hero, right? For connecting that dot, right? So forming strategic partners with other people's businesses who help complement your service is an amazing thing for your business.
1000%. Like, what I recommend you do is look at all the problems your customer has. Out of all the problems your customer has, which problems are you willing to solve?
Right.
And then which problems are you not willing to solve? Because your business should not be all things to everybody.
Right.
So any problem your customer is going to have that you are not willing to solve, you should be finding a solution for that pain point, right? And then you should have, again, strategic partnerships. Like for example, in our world, if you have an accounting firm, after you save your clients money on taxes, they're going to look for a financial advisor. So you should have a financial advisor on contact they can reach out to. They're a business. They're probably going to need a lawyer. So you should have an attorney that's going to either set up their entity, their LLC, their S corp, whatever, on file, right? And then you can work out back end commissions or discounts or however you want to do it. But like any pain point you are not trying to solve, you still, if you want to be a over delivering business owner, therefore a overcompensated business owner, you should pre-find these solutions for your clients so that they can refer you to somebody else. How many times have you went to the doctor and they say, well, you need a podiatrist, a foot specialist. Here's a contact. They're cool. Cause I don't feel like having to find a foot doctor just because you can't handle it. Right. So that's something that I think all small business owners can learn from and start implementing in their business. It's an easy layup that can just turn on a completely new revenue stream for your entire business.
Yeah, and the beautiful part about it, like, is at the end of the day, when you make that connection, right? When you make that connection to the new business, now that will lead to, even if it's not a back end money, it will lead to renewals and retention because they're still associating that with you. Yeah. As long as you vetted out that referral or whoever and they do good work, they're associating that initial connection with you. So don't always think that just because there's a back end commission that it's not a good partnership, because if it's leading to the fact that someone wants to stay with you because of the bridges that you're building and the connection that you're making, right? It's so much easier to retain a customer than to get a new one, right? And it's so much cheaper, right? It's so much cheaper to do that, right? So also ask yourself, to your point, I'm not willing to solve this problem. And like, for example, attorneys can't give kickbacks, but our clients knowing that, man, I found my trademark attorney or I found my business lawyer by being in this program, those are all seeds that are going to be sown when it's time for them to renew. Like, being here is always a win for me. So just ask yourself, if I'm not willing to solve this problem and I can't get a kickback from it, is it still enough value add to increase the likelihood of retention for my existing client base?
And there's ways to get around a kickback. If they can't give you a kickback, they can sponsor one of your events.
Hey!
And then that's a marketing expense for the lawyer, and they can always spend money on marketing.
There you go. So in this episode, we will never not get something.
Get your money. That's a testament, because like one thing that we've, just on a personal note, right? Yeah. We've bridged a lot of gaps for a lot of people, friends, clients, customers, and we've been really, really like nonchalant about collecting any type of referral commission. And I thought it was like, no, bro, like, because like it's all love, and it is all love. Yeah. But we left hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. Which we are not doing anymore.
Yeah. And it helps you understand people more. Remember how one of our other homies, one of your mentors, we were like, damn, like, why? Like, he is on it when it comes to like getting this back end money. Yeah. But then like, it almost kind of turns you into like a monster to a degree, not in a bad way, but like, because some people take advantage of it and they abuse it. You know what I'm saying? So like, now being on the other side of it, it's like, you should think at some point that you should be voluntarily offering to sponsor my event or voluntarily offering to send clients my way after all the business I've sent you.
Unarticulated expectations
lead to premeditated resentment. So you can't get mad at someone for doing something you didn't tell them they couldn't do. So yes, I understand it, but now, right, we're putting it out there, making it known. We have a new standard and a new expectation, and as a result of that, if you don't move accordingly, then
we need that scratch. The quote of the day is, we need that scratch.
Need that scratch. Okay. Just need scratch. Need scratch. Let me get that. But yeah, those are three things. Wait, is that
that was three, or maybe four.
Maybe four. Yeah, 3 to 4 things that you should do in your business if you want to double or triple your revenue, right? And make sure that you don't do the original 3, because at the end of the day, if you don't want to go bankrupt, you want to build your business, which I hope that's what you want to do, make sure that you tap in with what we're doing on the Melanin Money Show. Like this video. Share it with your business bestie so that they can take advantage of these strategies too. And we'll see you on the next episode.